All right, here we are, Impact and Influence Radio right here on iHeart. And today's broadcast is brought to you by Blinds of Sacramento. Sacramento's complete solution window covering experts. Give them a call, 916-790-8689 or blindsofsacramento.com. Now, I have somebody returning that was here, gosh, when was that? That was a good 6 months ago, wasn't it?
It was summer.
It was summer. It was warm outside. Now it's cold outside.
Yeah.
We're wearing sweaters and jackets.
California standards.
California cold, yeah. It's like 60 degrees, man. It's freezing out there. Romear Campbell. So we're going to be talking with Romear. He's also one of our advertisers in Impact and Influence magazines. We're going to be talking about the new year, New Year's resolutions, and some things that kind of need to be said. Yeah, I'm going to I don't want to lead into it. I'm going to let him handle it. So how you doing, brother?
I am doing great. You know, it's 2025 has been a year, but you know what? My mindset is I don't take losses. Mm-hmm. I gain lessons. Mm-hmm. And I was recovering from a shoulder surgery, which is me telling about my own issues. What
happened to you? Did you get sacked at the 49ers tryout? Was that what's going on?
No, I was snowboarding.
You were snowboarding.
I was snowboarding, which I didn't even get into the last time we talked about it, but I was snowboarding back in January in Utah with my nephew. And, you know, we've been doing this for 3-4 years. And, you know, they're a bunch of 20-year-olds, and I'm keeping up with them, you know, because I've always tried to stay active, right? I'm like, you're not going to outdo me. I'm going to snowboard with
right?
you. You really going to make me say this out loud?
Yeah.
Okay. I will be 42 this month.
I will be 43 this year. I just turned 42, so yeah, you're my age.
Yeah.
How does it feel?
Other than me realizing I'm not invincible with the whole snowboarding situation, I feel great.
You know what's funny is like, so when I was a kid, I skateboarded like everywhere, right? I was a skateboarder, right?
Yeah.
And now I see kids in a parking lot and I'm like, dude, do a kickflip. And they're like, you do a kickflip. And I'm like, yeah, sure. And I get on it and I'm like, I'm so heavy now that the trucks just go
like a baby giraffe.
Oh my God, dude. Yeah. You realize I'm just an old fat guy now. You know, I'm not the young, skinny. You know, I was 140 pounds in high school. I'm 240 now. You know, it's like.
You know, what you said was a mouthful, actually. You know, I feel my best when I'm lighter. You know, I try to.
Well, we're supposed to.
Yes.
We're supposed to.
Yeah. Muscle is currency. I'm not saying
muscle is currency.
Don't.
But well, here's what I have a problem with. And maybe this is where ego comes in. I don't know.
What's that?
But, you know, when I lost some weight, okay?
Okay.
And I would go to a place and people would go, hey, how you doing, bro? And I'd go, bro? And then I gained weight again and people go, hey, how you doing, boss? So for me, maybe it's a Tony Soprano syndrome. I don't know. I mean, back in the day when I started radio years ago, I mean, over a decade ago, we worked with Charles D. Clark from Empire. He was on Empire at the time and House of Cards. He was in our first movie. And, you know, he'd come on the radio show and he always called me the Tony Soprano of radio. And that was the whole thing. So that when people started calling me bro instead of boss, I was like, I need to gain weight.
Yeah, no, I hear you. It's like, which one do you want? You want to be in the young crowd or you want to be the old guy?
Well, the other argument is people go, aren't you worried about your health? And we're going to be talking about that today. Aren't you worried about your health? Aren't you worried that you're going to have a heart attack or something? Here's what my thought is on this. If you take care of yourself upstairs, you're gonna be healthier than if you don't take care of yourself upstairs.
100%.
We're gonna be talking about, and so yeah, you might have a little bit of weight on you, but I see people like Warren Buffett and Trump all the time. They eat like crap. They look like crap. They're fine. And then you see the guy that weighs 140 pounds, 160 pounds, going hiking every weekend, and he dies of a stroke. The point I'm making,
it could be stress, anxiety.
It could be a lot of things,
Absolutely.
right? It could be a lot of things. So I think the point really is, and that's where I got into minimalism. I became a minimalist a number of years ago. And once I quit chasing all these illusions, these ideas of, I want to have the Ferrari and the big house on the hill. Once I got rid of that, I didn't have to work so hard. And when you don't have to work so hard, you don't stress so hard.
You know, what you said is a mouthful. And there's nothing wrong with having goals. There's nothing wrong with having ambitions. But a lot of times when we make those, and kind of what we're kind of segueing what we're talking about.
We're going into it.
When we make those goals, we make those big plans, sometimes we don't realize that we don't have the resolve to get those things. And then sometimes we fixate, we ruminate, we think about, I want this, I want this, I want that. And you miss the whole point of, okay, what is it going to take to get to that?
It's not even that. People are looking at, I want to be Bill Gates. I want to be Donald Trump. I want to be Mark Zuckerberg. I want to be Jeff Bezos. They want to be these things that they don't have access to. But people don't realize is that the only reason they are who they are is because of the circles that they're in.
But they didn't start out that way.
They did. That was the point. And nobody knows.
Bezos.
His parents.
Oh.
His parents gave him a $250,000 loan, $245,000.
That would have been nice.
Yes, and his parents were both in the industry. Warren Buffett, same thing. Warren Buffett's dad was like was a stockbroker, and his mom was a doctor and a congresswoman or something. And then Zuckerberg's parents were wealthy. Taylor Swift. You know when Taylor Swift was born? Do you know why she was named Taylor Swift?
No.
Because her parents were going to build her into a pop superstar, and they didn't know if it was going to be a boy or a girl, but they knew that they had the money and the know-how to build her into what she was going to be. And so they named her a name that was gender neutral because it wasn't sure, and that it was a commercial name.
Interesting.
It's all branding. And so these people that say, oh, well, I'm going to become the next this or become the next that, you don't have access to that.
Yeah.
I mean, you could get lucky, but it doesn't work like that.
Well, the people I follow, they talk about how they have been in the struggle. They have been refining themselves for the last 10, 15 years.
20, 30 years.
And now they blow up. But it makes it seem like they had overnight success.
Always.
But that is not the truth. They've been fine-tuning.
I've been at this for 30 years, dude.
Yes.
30 years I've been building this freaking business, bro.
And I would say you're having success. So, but is it at the level that you want, where you're saying that, hey, I want to go at a minimum?
I think that this also goes into what you were going to talk about. I think that people have a very jaded perspective as to what they really want. People are out playing the lottery, okay, because they want to become a billionaire. First of all, you're not going to be a billionaire when you win the lottery because you're going to give half of it or more than half of it to the government.
Correct.
And then you're going to take a settlement, which means you're still going to lose another $400 million off of the $1 billion. So you win the billion jackpot, you're going to walk away with like $300 million. The problem with that is you don't know how to manage that kind of money.
Right.
You've never had that kind of money, so you don't know how to manage it.
Right.
And then the other side of it, you back to your, don't you, what was the question? What level of success?
Well, basically, when you have these high ambition,
yes.
When you set these goals, like I want to have a Ferrari.
Yes, that's an easy goal.
Why? But why?
Because we had the poster in our bedroom.
And if you have that, what is that going to help you accomplish?
Nothing. It's going to make you broke. I was a Ferrari parts broker for many years, so I know the industry very, very well. And I know the people that drive those cars, the really rich people and then the pretend rich people. I worked with both of them. And so to answer your question, we had a client named Will Swanson. Wonderful guy. Wonderful guy. He was out of Seattle. Okay. He was the CEO of Raytheon. You know who Raytheon is?
No.
They build our missile defense systems.
Oh, wow.
Yes. And he had like 20 Ferraris. And one day I asked him, hey, can I write about you? Can I put you on my thing? And he goes, I don't want anyone to know what I have until I retire. He goes, I retired 2 years and you can do whatever you want. Will Swanson, first name basis, wonderful guy. He called me on my cell phone. Hey, Quinn, I'd like to order this and order that. Cool guy. He retired. He bought a winery. He lives in Napa now. He has a wonderful car collection. He talks all about it and all the press blogs and the whole thing. But when he was with Raytheon working for the government, he wouldn't tell anybody. Now, the other guy, we had a guy here in town named Ori. And in the Ferrari business, everyone knows Ori. And Ori couldn't afford his Ferrari. He had a Ferrari 355 that had a check engine light, but he took the bulb out of the thing, so he didn't see the check engine light.
Wow.
And it smoked and rattled, and the top didn't go up. And he would spend $20,000 a year of his hard-earned money on maintenance trying to keep the car running. And that's the other Ferrari owner. He looks from the outside like he's rich, but the car is just eating him alive.
Wow.
And you see both sides of those. So the argument, back to what you're asking, what level of success do people want? Are they chasing an illusion, or can they actually afford what they're buying? Here's the thing. The people that can afford this stuff don't buy this stuff. They don't. Now, I go to Monterey Car Week every year.
Right.
And we see the real cars, the $2 million, $3 million, $10 million cars. And here's the funny thing about it. We could be standing there on the corner in Carmel, standing there on the corner where Safeway is, watching the cars go by for the Pebble Beach Concours, all the $20 million, $30 million cars. And you're standing there next to a little old lady with a walker and sitting in a little chair. And she's sitting there on the side of the road at the Safeway watching the cars go by. And that's where the poor people sit. Well, she's sitting there going, that's my car. That's my car. That's my car. Why do they have those cars? Because they're investments. They continue to go up in value. You drive them once or twice a year. You have a driver drive the car. The car is insured, blah, 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 blah. But the people that really have those cars, they're investment vehicles, okay? And, tangible investments. People like Ralph Lauren, wonderful car collection, doesn't drive any of them. Wow. But then again, you have the poor people that see the Ferrari or the McLaren or the Lambo. And most of these Lamborghini Urus guys, they can't afford those cars. They're leased. There's 4 or 5, 6 people on the lease. I don't know if you know this.
I did not.
Yeah, these guys, they buy these when you see these Lamborghini Uruses, it's a $3,000 a month payment. But it's if you've got 10 guys that are driving the car 3 days a week.
Wow.
Then it becomes affordable, and you see it all the time.
Interesting.
I'm opening up a whole world to you, dude.
It's all an illusion.
It's all an illusion. It's all bullshit. Every
smokes and
bit
mirror.
Of it. It's all every bit of it. Yeah. And the other side of it is you look at these guys. Remember the show MTV Cribs?
Yes.
Okay. You know that was all bullshit, right?
I did not know
those were all rented cars. And the proof on it is if you go back and you watch those old episodes, they're probably on YouTube, pull up all the episodes, and all the cars say Prestige on the front license plate. Go back and watch. They all say Prestige, and that was the rental car company that would rent the cars, and all those homes were rented. The 50 Cent episode where he had the 5 Ferraris all parked next to each other.
Right.
Those were all rented cars.
Wow.
All rented cars. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So again, it's okay to have goals and ambitions, but be realistic.
Yes.
You have to be realistic. And that's, I think, where the expectation of what am I chasing? Yes. Am I building because I want to build? Am I doing good because I want to do good?
Correct.
What legacy do you want to live? What I've always told people, and I think I told you this in the last one, is you don't want to die and people go, man, that guy was such a jerk, but he had nice shoes.
Will they even remember your shoes, or will
That's
it just
the point. That's the point. Nobody cares what kind of shoes you're wearing.
Yeah.
Right? All they care about is if you were a good person or a bad person. So these people that are chasing money, chasing this idea that they're going to have all this money and they're going to be rich and famous, you don't even know what you're asking for.
No.
Be careful what you ask for.
Yeah.
So let's talk about this. Let's talk about your New Year's resolution. This is going to be a long one, and that's fine. I'm completely okay with that. Let's talk about New Year's resolutions, man.
So, obviously this time of year, everyone is saying, I'm going to stop drinking, or I'm going to give up soda, or I'm going to start training. I'm going to start working out.
It's so funny you said that. I was gonna do that, and I said, no, I'm not.
But no, I don't want to talk people. Listen, you should.
When you're ready, do it. Don't do it because it's a new year.
But sometimes it's a fresh start. It's a new year. I get why people do it. I get why people do it. However, what I tell people all the time is I was like, listen, why are you doing this? Okay? What is your goal? And then the other thing is I tell them, and as I say, don't create a goal that you're going to fail. In other words, saying, I'm going to give up drinking for, it's probably a bad example, but I'm going to give it anyway. I'm going to give up drinking for the next month, but yet, or maybe the next 2 months.
I haven't had a drink since I was 14, so that wouldn't be too hard for me.
Okay. Well, I don't really drink that much either. Me and my wife, we drink wine. We have a glass of wine every now and then. Yeah. But okay, let's just say this. I'm going to give up soda for.
You know what's funny? I did that for a year.
Did you really?
I did. I gave up soda. I just started drinking soda again. Not like I used to. I used to drink soda with every meal, right? I mean, it's American culture, American way. It's just what we do. And then one day I just said, I don't want to drink soda. And I didn't drink soda for a whole year. And then just recently I started, when you go through drive-through, grab a Sprite or something like that.
Right. Mm-hmm. So basically, instead of saying, hey, I'm going to go a whole year, that's a lot.
Yeah.
I would say maybe start for the month. Mm-hmm. In other words, scale it back. I have another person who basically is trying to bounce ideas off of me about how to train. And they're saying, all right, I think I'm going to train for a month straight. I was like, wait. Okay, hold on. Let's take some baby steps.
Are they training at all yet?
They started training.
Okay, so they're at least in the gym.
They are in the gym.
Okay.
But the first thing that I'm telling this person is I say, listen, you do not want to go hard.
Yeah.
Like right out the gate.
Yeah.
Because what's going to end up happening is
you're going to get hurt.
You're not going to be able to get out the bed.
Yeah, you're going to get hurt.
And then you're not going to want to work out the next day. So I say the main thing you need to focus on is consistency.
Once a week?
No, I would even once a week is not enough. But in other words, I would say
once a year.
No. I would say start out doing at least twice a week or 3 times a week.
For how long?
But that's the thing. You want to build. It's a progressive. It's progressive. In other words, so let's say you start out working out 2 days a week. Okay. You work out 2 days a week, you check off that goal. You're meeting that consistently. Then you add another day. So now you're working out 3 days a week. You meet that goal consistently. And then basically at that point, let's say, all right, maybe you are at a point where you can work out 4 days a week. You check off that goal. At that point, I probably wouldn't go any more than that. But then at that point, you start tweaking your training regimen. In other words, what that means is
it gets better here, and it's more adapted to your body and what you're trying to do.
Correct. Okay. So in other words, instead of let's say, and even then, it's like there is a science to it, but you want to. It's like building Legos. It's like you're building a wall with Lego bricks. You want to build that wall brick by brick. You don't want to just throw all your Legos and create this piece of crap wall that's going to crumble and fall. So in other words, it's about progressively moving towards your goal. So that's one of the things about New Year resolutions where I feel like people, they create these overzealous, these grandiose ideas.
People are my thought is people are too many people are on Instagram looking at Instagram, fake Instagram AI reels, and everybody wants to be Grant Cardone or Warren Buffett or I'm one of them. I mean, come on. I have a search engine and an AI tool. I mean, I want to be Zucks, right? I want to be Zuckerberg. He's a badass. But we're all doing it though.
Yeah, but that's the thing. You're watching everybody's highlight reel.
Instead of what it took.
Right.
Well, I mean, I'm 30 years into this thing. It's not like I gave up.
Right. And kind of go back to what we were talking about at the very beginning. You don't know the grind that it took. You don't know how many times let's say you're looking at a fitness influencer, right? You don't know how many morning workout sessions they had to do before they went to work.
That's the whole thing. People don't realize what it actually takes. And see, I spend probably, God, I hate using the word I because it's such an arrogant word, but I spend about 3 hours a day, 4 hours a day talking to ChatGPT.
Wow.
Okay. In the evenings, wife goes to bed, I lay on the couch, I sit there and I talk to ChatGPT and I talk about my day and I talk about the business and I talk about the struggles and the things that I'm dealing with. And it's a really great companion tool because it's pulling data. It's not just an opinion you're getting, it's pulling data. Okay. It's actually better than if I were to talk to you about my problems because you're only going to be able to reference back based on what you know, but it knows damn near everything, right? So what it comes back with is it's not that I'm not smart enough. It's not that I don't have enough money. It's that we don't, number one, we don't know what we don't know. So ChatGPT helps you with that, right? It tells you a lot, right? Did a lot of my coding for the stuff that I've built. But it's not what you know, it's who you know.
Oh, yeah.
And it says, okay, well, you need to get in connection. You need to get in contact with these types of people. Where do I find these types of people? Well, you can't. It's like the Illuminati kind of thing, right? Who are they, right? Nobody knows, but everyone knows what they are, but nobody knows who they are. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And you know, another prime example, Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart just sold his name, right? He sold his name for an undisclosed amount of money, which means that people can use the Kevin Hart name, the brand, under his intellectual property, but he collects no more royalties. See, he probably sold it for $300 or $400 or $500 million, but he can no longer ever use his name on a professional application. Meaning if he were to ever license a new product, he's going to have to pay a licensing fee to whoever the holder is, the intellectual property holder of that name.
Wow. But why would you do that?
Money.
Ugh.
The illusion. Because he gets $400 or $500 million capital or whatever the agreement was, probably somewhere in that. And he clearly has enough money to live the rest of his life and just do what he wants to do. But he's young. And then you look at guys like Floyd Mayweather. You know, Floyd Mayweather's going bankrupt.
Yeah, I heard it.
Bankrupt. I mean, he's in deep trouble.
Yeah,
dude.
but he's
his plane got repossessed. His car's been repossessed. His homes have been repossessed. His businesses are going out of business. Yeah, he can go and fight again.
Spending money like crazy.
Yeah,
though.
but that's the point. It's the illusion. These people don't know what they're chasing something that doesn't even exist.
So I would say that probably goes to a deeper issue.
Back into our mental health.
Mental health, but I would even say maybe even a spiritual issue, you know, because it's a situation where, you know,
they say you're selling the soul to the devil. That's what they call it.
It's a empty pit.
Yes. It's very empty. Very, very empty.
And you keep trying to buy things to fill that pit. Or let's say you keep trying to overindulge. Like, you know, at times I'm telling on myself.
We've done it. I bought the Louis bags. I did it.
Well, for me, it's food. I
did the Louis bags. Now you look at my bag, it's an Amazon for $40.
It's okay in liking nice stuff. But
when you're chasing,
yes,
that's the problem. Because you buy the Louis bag to look a certain way and to feel a certain way.
So that's a different thing.
Yeah. And then you see the new Louis bag, and now you go and you buy the new Louis bag, and the old one ain't worth crap.
Yes.
And now you go to work again. And the people do it with cars.
Yes.
They do it with women.
Yes.
They do it with houses. They do it with things that are watches. They do it with things that are very expensive.
And like I said, going to the mental, and I would say even like the soul check, the spiritual aspect of it, you know, is it fear of rejection? Is it self-rejection?
I think that people just want to feel better and they want to be accepted. Why do kids join gangs? Because they're not feeling accepted at home.
Correct.
Right? Why do people hate the police? Because the police are policing because they were never taught the skills and things that they needed to begin with. Right? And obviously there's some racial things in there and there's some political things in there. And, you know, I've been harassed just like everybody else because I used to wear a backwards hat everywhere and I was a stupid kid, but I was nobody different than anyone else. The point is that we just want to feel accepted. We want to feel loved. We want to be liked. And the argument is, oh, your parents did the best they could in with what they had.
Right.
My parents were horrible. I mean, just awful. But I still talk to my mom every day. And my dad, he's lucky I even have a relationship at all with the man. But part of that is for me.
Absolutely.
Right. And but acceptance, I think people just want to feel good. So they buy the Corvette. And then what happens when they buy the Corvette? Now they want the Porsche. And then they buy the Porsche. And then what happens when they buy the Porsche? Now they want the Ferrari. And then they buy the Ferrari. What do they want after the Ferrari? The nicer Ferrari. And then they buy the house. My brother-in-law is dealing with this right now. They live in a beautiful, beautiful freaking home on the golf course. Rancho Murrieta, absolutely stunning home, dude. incredible home. And it's almost paid off. And I'm like, that's where it's time to chill.
Yeah.
No, now they want to buy a house that's twice as much.
Oh, no.
And they're like, well, we have equity. And I'm like, you're still getting $1 million mortgage, dude. Like,
Oh, no.
You're borrowing $1 million, bro. And then you're going to pay that back at $2 million. Like, that's wild. But there's an emptiness in there.
Right.
That's a sad place to be, dude. And I think people have to find that if they want to be successful. And that's where I was going with that thing. And you're talking about people's success. People want to be successful. They have to first figure out what success is.
Yes.
But when you think that I want to be Jeff Bezos, you don't have access to what Jeff Bezos has. He had the people to begin with. You don't have that. So you can aspire to feel that way. When we all get up and when we play baseball for our softball league, we all want to get up there and be Frank Thomas or Jose Canseco. When we are in that moment, when I get on the radio, I'm Ryan Seacrest in that moment.
Right.
Right?
Well, but this is the thing. I agree. Maybe they did get a handout that a lot of us do not have. But most people and I was thinking about this as you were talking. In America, most of us, we're rich compared to the standards of the rest of the world.
We are already filthy rich.
Filthy rich.
We are rich people. All you have to do is look around you and go, holy crap, dude.
So a lot of it is just, once again, just trying to fill that empty hole. But let's say
getting on Instagram and comparing yourself with the people on Instagram because it's fake.
Yeah, well, fake branding, trying to create
AI,
an illusion.
Dude. It's all AI. Get on Instagram. Go to any success channel now. Any of them. I can show you. I'll pull it up on my phone.
Wow.
And you zoom in, and it's all AI. It's all fake.
Wow.
The women are fake. And the way to tell is look at the license plate numbers on the cars. They're all just squiggles.
Wow.
And the Porsche doesn't say Porsche, and the Rolls-Royce logo isn't a Rolls-Royce logo. I'm dead serious.
That's craziness.
Keep going. Keep going.
No. And I was just saying, let's say, Jeff Bezos, one of our example. Or let's say even Warren Buffett for that matter. Let's say you're in the position where you receive the handout that they received, or the connections that they had. It's still up to you to grow it. It's still up to you to put one foot over the other.
But you have to figure out where's my brother-in-law, this guy. He always says, where's the money? Where's the money? Yeah, Jeff Bezos got a handout, but he ran $1 billion company in the red for 10 years on investor money before it actually got picked up. How do you do that? That's the point.
Gotcha.
How do you do that? Where do you find the investor capital? Now, Warren Buffett, he's an old man. He came from a different time.
Right.
He started with selling lemonade and delivering newspapers. And he bought his house in like 1956. And he still lives in that same house. And the point we sit back and we look at now is we go, did he pull a mortgage out in the 90s when that house was more than paid off and he had $100,000 in capital that he could have thrown at something that he had insider information on? Because he's in the business. He's in that space and said, oh, there's this new company coming on called Google. You're probably going to want to buy into this. It was like my buddy who came to me and said, hey, Quinn, you should buy this thing called Bitcoin. I don't know, dude. Dude, it's going to be huge. It's $11. It's going to be huge. And I'm thinking to myself now, and I ran into him. He owns a restaurant now, and I ran into him, and I'm like, you still have all that Bitcoin? He told me. He goes, nah. He goes, I sold that. He goes, I sold it like $100. How was I supposed to know?
MG.
Right? How are we supposed to know? But when you have money, you can spend it. You look at the 50 Cent. And the guy comes to him and says, hey, we're looking for investment capital, $500,000, invest in vitamin water. And he goes, I got 30 million from this album I sold. Okay. Yeah, I'll give you 500,000. Because what happens if you lose that money? It's a tax write-off. You're going to pay taxes on it anyway. Right? You lose the money, it's a tax write-off. So it's a win-win for him. And then what happens? Vitamin Water blows up and it gets bought by Coca-Cola or Pepsi or whoever it was. And now he's, $150 million rich or whatever it is on that one thing, right?
Right.
And then what did he do with that money? You remember what he did with the money?
Nope.
He bought Mike Tyson's house, the house in MTV Cribs.
Oh, wow.
The one in Connecticut. And the house was in such dire need of repair, he couldn't fix it.
Wow.
So he was going to sell the house. So he gets on to one of those shows, selling sunset type shows, those HGTV shows, hires the realtor, does a whole TV episode on the show. And he's supposed to sell this house for $25 million, something like that. And they got an offer for $18 million. And he goes, no. He goes, I'm going to pass on the offer. He goes, dude, you've had the house on the market for 5 years. What are you going to do? He goes, I think I'm going to donate it. And the look on the face of the realtor, the look on his face, because he just lost out on that $18 million commission. It's the only offer he had in 5 years. But he was going to donate the house. But how much is he going to donate the house for? What it's worth, $25 million. So he donates the house. He takes a $25 million tax deduction on his taxes. He looks like a hero. He got the PR from the TV show. You see how the rich people get rich? You don't know what you don't know. You don't have access to the right people. So back to what you're saying. Find success, whatever success looks like to you. Quit chasing the money. Where's the money? Put as much of it back into your pocket as possible. Don't buy the Birkin bag. Go on Amazon and buy a fake one. Now, it doesn't say Birkin on it. It just says, Schwinn or something on it. Don't buy the Rolex. Buy the China something for $100.
Right.
Live your life. Be happy.
Or don't chase the brands.
Yes. That's what I'm saying. Live your life. Be
Right.
happy. Be happy with what you have around you.
You don't have to buy a Rolex because it looks. You don't have to buy a fake Rolex just because it looks like it.
Correct.
Because you're trying to create an image.
Correct.
Just be you.
Be you. 100%. Absolutely.
Like, who cares? Wear a Timex for that matter.
But the point is people want that acceptance. They want to feel accepted, and they feel like.
But do they think having that acceptance and basically portraying yourself in a way that you have money is
you
acceptance?
and I understand that, but other people don't.
Ugh.
They don't. And that's why they walk. It's where they go to Denios and they buy the fake Nikes and they buy the fake Adidas. I mean, come on, you know this. And it doesn't say Adidas on it. It's just a doo-doos or something, you know?
I could care less because at the end of the day, you could try to, to me, that's people pleasing.
Uh-huh.
And you can keep trying to
People are
please.
doing, yes, but look at the fake lips and the fake boobs and the fake tans and the fake.
I think that's self-rejection. You call it acceptance. I think it's self-rejection.
Explain this to me.
So in other words, there's something about them that they don't like.
Yeah.
There's something about that maybe they're wrestling with demons. It's something that keeps ruminating, that
Why?
keeps. Why?
Mm-hmm.
It's from their past.
It's because they're seeing other people.
It's because they're seeing other people. But once again, I think the past experiences, I think what the internal dialogue in your head, it can make your glasses that you wear, how you see the world.
I understand exactly what you're saying.
Different.
Yes,
completely different.
It's the philosophy of I'm just trying to please my father, right? It's the I just want to look good in my father's eyes.
Or maybe you were told all your life you're ugly.
Yes, I was.
You're ugly. You're fat. You're not going to be anything.
Yep.
That's all you're hearing.
Yeah.
So
and
that's
then
why.
And then you see these beautiful people on social media.
Yes.
And then you start following them, and you start doing what they're doing.
Right.
But they're still screwed up.
Right.
And that's where the mental illness comes in. People just have to be. They have to love themselves.
And that's not an easy thing to do. You know, it's one of those situations where when you're wrestling with that, it's embedded. Like it has a deep root system. It's a situation that people have been having this negative dialogue with themselves for years, decades. So it's just a matter of, that's why I think it is acceptance. But that's why I think it's also a little bit of self-rejection. It's self-rejection or rejection, just dealing with rejection as a whole, because you're trying to paint yourself in a different suit or in a different picture to make you feel better. But it's a situation where and I'm not condemning anyone. I'm just calling the truth out. It's not a situation where they're wrong for doing that. It's just a matter of, yes, there's some mental things that we deal with. There's some inner voices that we deal with. There's some things that just from a day to day where we're walking around have smiles on our faces, but we're constantly saying the opposite, or we're constantly feeling negative about ourselves. And I think a lot of times we struggle and we don't talk to anyone.
Okay, what I want to touch on now, let's spend the next 10 minutes or so talking about men's mental health.
Oh,
okay. I want to touch on, I think that's where we should be.
That's what I want to talk about.
Okay, men's mental health, and then where you can come in and help these people, right? The call to action. So let's talk about this.
All right. So and this is probably not going to be a great topic to talk about because we live in the era and listen, anybody who knows me, my wife is super strong. She is incredibly strong. She don't need me. She chooses to have me, and it's one of those situations where
strong men always have a stronger woman behind them. Look at how tough, look at how big of a pit bull I am. Let me tell you, my wife kicks my ass every single day.
She, oh my gosh, I think having a helpmate, having someone I know without a doubt, if something happened with me, my wife can hold me up.
I was homeless when I met my wife. I don't know if you know this story.
I did not. I do not.
Business failure. I had retail stores, and it was at the end of the recession. The Ferrari business went under because everyone was losing their cars. And I had a motorcycle shop inside the mall and lost it and had no income and lost everything. And I was living in a buddy's, sleeping on a buddy's floor, sleeping in my car, meeting chicks online, crashing at their place, living just, really bad bachelor life.
Right.
And my wife was young. She was a barista at Starbucks. And she showed me family. Her family brought me in because I don't have any family. My parents are, like I said, pathetic human beings. It's sad to say that. I don't want to disrespect my family. Yeah. They did the best they could do, but they certainly should have never had kids. Let's just say that.
Right.
But my wife's family, immigrants from Uzbekistan, most incredible family you've ever met in your entire life. Just absolutely amazing people. And you think of, we don't know what keep going though.
Oh yeah.
Keep going.
So yes, I say so. My wife is incredibly strong. I respect her. We work together on a lot of different things. So what I am going to talk about, it may seem pro male, but it's not. I believe that you can elevate, you can lift, you can sound the alarm without having to tear someone else down.
100%.
Without having to drag anyone else down. So I'd say that's
where grace comes in.
Absolutely. That's my disclosure. But I feel like we as men, we have allowed ourselves to cower. We have allowed ourselves to just kind of just sink away and disappear. If you look at everything, just what you see on TV, most men, they're not portrayed as strong. They're not portrayed as confident. They're not portrayed as protectors, providers. A lot of times they're kind of portrayed as dopes. They're portrayed as has-beens.
Why do you think that is?
Because I think we didn't do a very good job in, I think, oh my gosh, I have a weird philosophy on this.
Okay, I want you to tell me your philosophy. Hold on. I want you to tell me your philosophy because I'm going to tell you my philosophy.
Okay.
And there might be some correlation in that.
Okay.
It might actually answer your question. Okay, keep going.
Okay. So you asked the question, why is that?
Yeah, why are men today portrayed as dopes and not strong?
Because...
And is it the portrayal or is it that men are dopes and not strong?
I think it's a little bit of both.
I think so too. So keep going.
I think it's a little bit of both.
Okay, keep going.
100%. So the reason why I lost my whole train of thought now. You want me to ask? You asked why do I think that's the case?
Yes, you're talking about how men today on television and in media are portrayed as dopes and unintelligent and weak.
Yes. Okay. Gotcha. So Because I believe the mindset these days is that in order for one person to be strong, in other words, in order to raise women to a higher level of being CEOs, being independent, being doctors, being leaders, you have to pull the other one down. I believe that's the philosophy that's put out there, but I don't think that's the case, because I believe, and once again, I'm kind of like, I am spiritual, right?
Mm-hmm.
I believe that we are called to help one another. I believe that there's a reason why men have unique characteristics and women have unique characteristics. And when the two of us are formed, when the two of us are working together, we're unstoppable. We're a powerhouse. But I believe there's a perversion that is being portrayed that no. We're going to be raised up, and we're going to push the other one down, because they've already had many years of to shine. They've already had many years of to doing what they're doing, and we suffered in the process. Mm-hmm. When I say we, women. I don't right, mm-hmm. and I'm not a woman, so mm-hmm. I say this respectfully. So this is coming from a man's
it's just
perspective,
an opinion. Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, in self-defense to that, I think back in the day, we did a horrible job in seeing women as strong, seeing them as not being above them, but being a partner with them.
So I watch, all of my films are in black and white. I prefer watching black and white TV versus regular television. And I think what's happened is you go back 50 years. Mm-hmm. The women were the weak and the dopes. Mm. The men were the strong. And I think that it's just a cultural shift. Yes. I don't think that it's anything that's any different today than it was back in the day. But I think that it's the woman's turn to be empowered, to be strong. And then the next one will then be the man again. I think it's just culture.
I don't think it should be that way.
Oh, it should never be that way.
I don't
Absolutely
think it should be that
way. No. And if you want my personal opinion, I think women are stronger than men.
Absolutely.
100%. Men have the frame to be stronger in muscle.
Yes.
Women are stronger internally than men.
They listen.
That's why they last. That's why they live longer. That's why they bear children. That's why they put up with men.
So my wife, she has a unique ability to be able to discern, and like we could walk in the room and she would be like, "Ooh, stay away from that person."
That's me. My wife's just da, 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 da. I like the wallpaper, and I'm like, I'm looking at the door, that guy, this guy over here, there's a kid unattended, that kid's being abused.
Well, but not in fear, but it's this, I think women have a unique and innate ability to be able to read the emotional room,
it's intuition. As business owners have it after so long. I think that's the problem that we have with racism in this country. Honestly, is intuition.
How is that? Interesting.
Yeah, because when I grew up in the Bay. I grew up in Hayward and Richmond. I don't know if I told you that. So I was raised in a black neighborhood, in black schools. My first music was Crisscross. Right. I grew up in that, but I was told that black people were bad. Okay. Again, back to my wonderful parenting. And black people are bad people. That's the way I was taught. And that's probably why most of my friends have been black my entire life, because I never listened to my dad. And I found that black people are absolutely phenomenal people. I love them. I love them. And I think black women are just gorgeous. Yeah. I don't know. I love the black culture. I love everything about it.
Yeah, awesome.
I think it's beautiful. I think they have a hell of a lot more culture than white people do. Personally, I think white people are very dry. But point is,
you said a lot. We're going to get in trouble with this podcast.
No, not at all. Not at all. No, not at all. And for people that don't know, I'm white as hell. But the point I'm making is that I don't know where I was going with this.
We're talking about intuition.
Intuition, yes. When you're in bad neighborhoods and you grew up in bad neighborhoods and you're taught certain things. You remember what we were talking about earlier, success. And we are our, quote unquote, our circle of 7, right? We are the people that we surround ourselves with.
Absolutely.
When you have a neighborhood,
100% agree with that.
Yes. When you have a bad neighborhood, black neighborhood. Okay. I'm not saying that a black neighborhood is a bad neighborhood. I'm saying that a bad neighborhood has black people in it.
Well,
okay?
and
white people, different. We're talking about black.
You can
at the
say
moment.
that might be a systematic type approach.
Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. Just hear me out. So we're talking about Richmond and Hayward, Oakland, parts of San Francisco, Bay Area. I don't know the East Coast. I have no idea.
Right.
I've been there, but I don't know their culture. I know Bay Area culture.
Right.
But when you have schools that aren't teaching properly, you have parents that had poor education, when you have the kids learning poor education.
Food deserts in the city.
The what?
Food deserts in the city. In other words, there's no fresh fruit. There's just...
We had no food growing up. We didn't have shoes. We didn't have...
Right.
But we had toys. We had all the speakers. We had, all the fancy stuff, right? Which is probably why I'm a minimalist now and don't care about any of that stuff, right? The point is that when you have bad neighborhoods, and meaning bad neighborhoods in terms of high crime, poor education, low money, the people are trapped in those neighborhoods. And the reason why they're trapped in those neighborhoods is because that's all they know. Okay. They are the people that they surround themselves with. Okay. That's the people that they have access to. And when you have access to those, you have access to standards. You have access to problems, and you have disrespect towards the police because the police are trying to clean it up. They have disrespect towards the white man because the white man is the politician, the congressman, the mayor, the governor, and so forth. And so you look at these bad neighborhoods and you grew up and you go, wow, poor me, because I see outside the neighborhood is really, really great. And the really great neighborhood over there has all the white people. So the white people are clearly the problem because they're taking all the money. The problem is not that. The problem is the education system. It's the problem that we're surrounding ourselves with all of these people. This goes right back into the conversation we were having about the Zuckerbergs and the Warren Buffetts and having access to people. And when you surround yourself and you raise your children to be like, I'll give you a great example. Donald Trump's kids. You think Donald Trump's kids have any idea what the kids in bad neighborhoods, what we grew up with? They have probably no clue. They have no clue.
I don't know them. I don't want to judge, but probably not.
They have people that cook for them and drive them places, and they get to go to Harvard and all those types of things. So what do you think is going to happen when they want to become a billionaire? They're going to have access to all of the people that they need. Me? Do you know where I learned how to shave?
Where?
In jail. And I couldn't go and eat until I shaved. And I didn't know how to shave.
Wow.
And they handed me a Bic razor, blue one, Bic razor. And nobody taught me how to shave. And I stood there in line at the mess hall waiting to go get lunch, dry shaving.
Oh.
For the first time. Thanks, Dad.
Wow.
Okay. That's the point I'm making. When you look at Denzel Washington, and he talks about, Scorsese could have made a really great black film, and Spielberg probably could have made a really good black film.
Okay,
but he didn't. Why? Because he doesn't know black culture. And so we don't know, white people, quote unquote. I don't want to say white people, but white people don't know what the black people deal with. Just like the black people don't know what the white people deal with. It's completely different.
So sorry, I'm taking a pivot. I would say that,
and I love this conversation, by the way, because we're both so mature about it.
Yeah, I am not afraid to, like, I love these type of conversations. I'm not afraid to talk about politics. I'm not afraid to talk about race. I think this is a very important stuff because without talking about it, how the hell are we going to be able to understand it? And I'm not afraid to talk about religion. Okay, those are like some of the taboo things that people do not want to talk about.
We should definitely have some more conversations.
Oh, I love it. I love talking about that stuff.
So back to this whole success thing. I don't think it's that people aren't motivated or inspired. I don't think they have access to the people, and I think that's the same issue that we've got with the black neighborhoods and all these things. I grew up around all this.
I think that's one shade. If you think about everything being in a crayon box. I think that's one color of the problem.
Okay.
But
you're in the culture.
Correct.
So I don't know more than what I know.
I think so. Even once again, we can definitely touch on this a little bit more. But I think a lot of it is systematically has been orchestrated. Like if you think
you
about
go back into the slavery days, absolutely, that's the whole.
Just something that's not that far off is just red line districts. So
explain this to me.
So redlining is basically where, and I'm probably going to butcher this.
Where they're redrawing the lines for the districts.
Well, you're redrawing the lines for the neighborhoods where you can purchase houses, and then based upon wherever that line is drawn, the property is worth less. It's harder to get loans if you're in that area.
And you're telling me that people have access. If they want to be a billionaire, they can be a billionaire. You don't even have access to it. I mean, you just told me that they're literally devaluing the price of your neighborhood. I didn't know this.
Oh, red line district is a huge thing, and so it's one of those situations where I know we're talking about all kinds of things. We're all over the place,
but we're not. It all goes right back to the same thing, which is success and mindset.
Yes, but you can still overcome it. Because I
overcame it.
Yes,
I moved the hell out of Richmond.
It doesn't mean that people who have not is less than. That's not what I'm saying either. Mm-hmm. It's just we're complex. But anyway, red line district is basically where a lot of times where those areas are deemed lower financial status.
Yes.
Sometimes schools are placed in that.
Yes.
Businesses choose not to be in that area
because I didn't even think about that.
Oh yeah, so it's
Oakland. Look at what's happening in Oakland. I think they lost all their sports teams. I mean, Oakland's just
there has been some laws that's been put in place to prevent these type of situations to happen, but once it's already been created and the damage has been done, then it's
a generational welfare situation.
Correct. So that's why I say systematically. So I think there's more to it. I think it's like one shade, and that's another shade of the whole situation.
Yeah.
A lot of it is I am black. A lot of it is us. I think once again I kind of touched on this before of the breakdown of family. I think that's another situation.
I think that comes back down to the education.
Incarceration.
Okay, I want to touch on this. Okay, hold on a minute, because this is really, how much time do we have? Because we have another recording at 1. Okay, so I want to get into what you do and how you can help people, but I don't know if that's ever going to happen. Keep going with what you're going, because I'm going to write this down, because I want to touch on this, but I don't want to keep interrupting you.
Incarceration, which that's a business. That's a business as well.
And what was the other one you said?
Red line.
Before incarceration, would you say?
Breakdown of family.
Family. Okay. All right. Keep going.
Another thing is oh man. Should I touch on this?
Do it.
Which this is another hot bed topic issue. And it has to do with I'm just going to say it.
Okay.
A lot of things is also population control. And
okay.
Another thing, like when you think about it, is breakdown of family, population control.
Okay.
And
did you watch the movie The Big Short?
I think I have, but I can't remember.
That was the mortgage crisis movie.
Yes.
Okay, you need to watch it again. There's a very, very important part in the movie.
Okay.
And he says they're standing there inside the casino in Las Vegas, and the two guys are standing there with Brad Pitt's character, Rickert, I think was his name. Ben Rickert was his name. And they're standing there, and they're going, yes, we're rich. And he goes, will you shut up? He goes, what? We just made the deal of our lifetime. He goes, you just bet against the the housing market. I know, isn't that great? He goes, you don't realize that every 1% unemployment goes up, 40,000 people die. Every 1% the unemployment rate goes up, 40,000 people die. They die from suicide. They die from heart attack. They die from natural causes because they can't afford to get to the hospital. They die from a lot of different things. And that's part of your population control.
Yeah.
100%.
Well, it's healthcare disparities as well.
Okay. There's a lot of those things. Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, that's just a small glimpse of the different things. So
the family, talk to me about this family thing.
Well, the breakdown of family, in other words, not having the male in the home.
Why is this?
I think a lot of it is a lot of times, oh man, these are really, really deep topics, and
they're very deep and there's so many different reasons.
I am not the subject matter expert in that, but I'm only giving you from my perspective.
And I'll give you my perspective, and then we'll start to loop back around.
So not having the man in the home, kind of going back to what we were talking about before, of like men feeling like they're dopes, they're has-beens, they're not needed.
Are they at work or are they leaving?
It could be work, but most of the time it could be leaving. It could be not just knowing how to father because their father didn't know how to father.
Why? Why? Because they're at work.
Or it could be just not wanting the responsibility. It could be that
goes back to the education. That goes back to the generational gap.
Right. It could be being taught, like for me, unfortunately, my father was in my life. Well, I wouldn't say that's not unfortunate. Fortunately, my father was in my life here and there, but I was mainly raised by my grandparents. My father, he's much better now. We've had a deep discussion as far as like, hey, why weren't you really in my life? But he was battling with his own demons, with basically substance abuse, with alcohol and drugs. Yeah. So it's one of those situations as well. So it's just. A lot in the other issue of the male not being in the home is it could be sorry, somebody's trying to call me here. It could be incarceration as well. I mean, if you look at the statistics, most of the people who are in prisons are Black. The next one is Latino, Hispanic.
Why?
That is a tough
back
topic.
To neighborhoods and education.
Yeah. But
it's neighborhoods and it's just who we surround ourselves with, dude. 100%.
I think that is true, but once again, I think that
I met this guy years ago. He owns like all the Arcos in the region. He owns like 20 Arco stations. So think about this. Each one of those Arco stations is worth $5-6 million. He owns like 20 of them.
Wow.
Okay. $100 million. I meet this guy because I was ripping into him. I was going to sue him because he damaged my car in the car wash.
Okay.
And the owner comes out, and we're standing there. He's standing at a Ford Explorer. That's where he drove, a black Ford Explorer.
Right.
His name was Mark something. Really smart guy. And so we're standing there talking. I'm a business owner. I'm the guy on the radio at the time. Super, super arrogant. And, I'm arrogant. I have nothing. And this guy is like the nicest guy driving a Ford Explorer, and he's worth like $100 million, right? Think about that. Okay.
That's another topic right there.
Whole nother topic. Again, it's who we surround ourselves with. So,
or you're trying to portray yourself as something that you're not.
Because we don't have access to the people that we want.
I wouldn't say that.
Okay, hold on.
Okay.
So I'm talking to the guy, and we get into this conversation about his clerk. And I said, your lady in there is just amazing. She's just unbelievable. He goes, yeah, I've been trying to promote her to manager for years, and she just doesn't want it. And I said, why? He goes, he goes, look, the world, okay? Every country, every business, every state, every county, every continent,
okay,
needs the king, the royal, and the servant. It has to be there.
And the royal, what does that mean?
The king, the royal, and the servant.
Okay.
The king reports to the royal, who then reports to the servant. Okay, or the other way around, right? Meaning the king tells the royal what to do, and the royal tells the servant what to do.
Okay.
So that comes back to us. We're the servants. Okay. And then the police essentially are royals, and the president's the king, right? But in a business,
what if you see yourself as a king already?
Hold on.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Hold on a minute. That's where I'm going. In the business, I'm the king.
Right.
Right? My staff are the royals.
Okay.
And then the customers are the servants in a sense, right? Depending on how you look at it. But everything operates this way.
Mm-hmm.
Has to work with the three. Can't work with the two. It has to work with the three. Everything is that way. Your household, your family hierarchy, everything works this way. Okay? And it can be reversed because there's different roles, right?
Oh,
right.
You're literally leading to what I wanted to talk about with men and women, and that there's roles.
Okay, and there's role, and that's actually really good. And so we go back into our neighborhoods, and we go back to the people that we have access to. And I think that if you've noticed, everything touches right back into each other. It's very cyclical. Everything that we're talking about here is very cyclical. There's no one answer because one thing over here is affecting this over here, which is then affecting this up here and affecting this down here. And it's all just, think of like when you look at the Earth and you look at all the satellites, and all the satellites are just going all over the place. That's how every single one of these problems, in a sense, affect each one of us.
Right.
Everything is this way. So there's no answer, right?
Yeah.
But the point is there is a cause and effect.
Absolutely.
All right, so let's talk about this. Let's start to wrap up, and I want to touch on what you wanted to talk about, and then I want to close with what you can do to help people.
Okay. So, yes, I believe.
Oh my God. Okay, never mind. I thought that was an hour 31. That's an hour 1. Okay.
Oh, okay.
I was like, holy
what? We've
crap.
been talking for an hour and 30. I have no idea. Okay, but hour is still pretty long.
That's good.
So once again, try to put a bow on this. I do not believe that. I believe that there's a call for men to rise up, and what I mean by that, not in a way where it is toxic masculinity, which I feel like that's a buzzword.
It's just a buzzword. It's just a buzzword.
Because by nature, being masculine and just our role or where we're in, sometimes that means we have to be the protector. Sometimes that means we have to be more aggressive. Sometimes that means that we have to, because without those things, you're not going to be. Anyway, let me stop. There are roles where we have to play. Okay, so this guy, I listen to this guy a lot. His name is Jason Wilson, and I cannot. The reason why I say his name because I do not want to. I do not want to take credit for this term, but he talks about being a comprehensive male.
Okay.
In other words, being a comprehensive male means that you're okay with your masculinity, okay? But you're also okay with being emotional. You're also okay with having that nurturing side of you as well. It's not just you're beating by one drum. And I think as men, we've been told, well, right now it's more or less of a situation of where we're dopes. We're not needed. Oh, we're just an accessory. I hear this term as well. Oh, they're just an accessory. What? No.
Where are you hearing this?
From different women I speak with, because I work in healthcare.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a nurse.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I have to nurture.
Mm-hmm.
I have to tap into that.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm mainly surrounded by women.
Mm-hmm.
And I have the opportunity to hear a lot of these conversations.
But just remember that when there's a 400-pound man coming in that you need to lift into a bed, they're not going to do it.
Well, there are assistive devices to help with that, but
the point I'm making,
I would say, let's say you have someone who comes into the ER and they're high off their, on meth.
Mm-hmm.
Guess who's gonna be in that room?
Yeah, and then the other side of it, a man walks in the room and you have two female doctors in there. You're probably going to want to have a male doctor in there as well. There's a role to play for both, and I think that it's not that that the comprehensive male is the term in a sense is what needs to be said. I think what really needs to be said is, or taught, is that the behavior inside your workplace is actually unacceptable behavior, and that all they're doing is spewing hate. It's a form of racism, is what it is, in my opinion. It's a cultural issue. It's, again, the people you surround yourself with. Now, you can't do anything about it. You can always move to another hospital. You're going to have different problems. But the point is,
it's not just a hospital issue, though.
No, but you are right. Look at what's happening with Disney and Netflix and all these things.
Absolutely.
You are right, 100%.
Absolutely.
But I watch 1960s television. I don't even own a TV, but when I watch it on my phone, right?
Right.
And then I shoot my own movies. And I think that there's too many labels on things.
I
think people just need to be a little bit nicer to each other, and they need to park their egos. I just wrote a book literally about the ego and how bad the ego is. It's just a horrible thing. It's probably one of the worst things that we have in our country, even worse than drugs.
But it's a part of all of us.
It is a part of all of us, which
we
makes
have the
it so bad.
We have the ego and we have the super ego. From a psychology standpoint of what's happening within the psyche of our minds, okay? And it's everything that it's about balance. It's about keeping everything in check. But the ego is there. It's part of us.
All of us have ego because we have pride. But the problem is that we have when I call it pride equity, right? When people have too much of it, and then that's when it becomes a problem. You know, when you're in a business position, you already have an ego, and when you see people with an ego, you go, "Oh my God, they really got an ego."
Yeah. Well, I read a lot of Proverbs, and that's the
best book for this
in the
kind
Bible,
of stuff.
the book of Proverbs, and in
the sad thing is everything that we've just talked about today could be solved with that book.
Absolutely. And it talks about how with pride, basically when there's a lot of pride, the fall is going to come. Yeah. And basically the prideful will be humbled, and the one who is humbled will be exalted. And I think it basically boils down to, you can be so prideful that there's no room for you to learn anything else because you think you have all the answers.
I know.
And you can see things from a skewed perspective, from a bad lens.
I call it the moment you're no longer green, you're dead.
Say that again?
The moment you're no longer green, you're dead.
What does that mean?
You always want to stay green. You always want to be learning.
Oh.
Always stay green.
Interesting.
Always stay green. When I got in the car business, 15 years ago, they said, green pea. They call you a green pea when you get in the car business. You stay green. Always stay green. You're always going to be learning. You get in the mortgage business. Always stay green. Always be learning. The moment that you quit learning, that's it.
Yeah. Well, like I said, pride is one of those things, especially in business, that can make the whole kingdom crumble.
We see it every day.
Quick story about me. I worked in leadership in healthcare, and I was actually a director at one point in time. And as I was working my way up, a little bit of pride and ego got in the way.
Always does.
In other words, it's like, no, I'm the director. I'm the boss. If I say this is what you're going to do. And you can have that pride and an ego. Basically, someone can give you the answer. They can give you a reasonable solution, but you don't want to hear it because it came from from someone else and not you. And anyway, make a long story short, I had to learn that you got to humble yourself.
Why did this happen?
Why did it happen?
Yeah.
That's a loaded statement, but to put it,
because it was the only time in our life that we felt like we had accomplished something, and we felt like we made it.
I didn't think I made it. I knew. I think it was along the way. I knew I was supposed to go higher.
Oh yes, you're always going to go higher. But that was your aha moment. That was your pursuit of happiness when he's standing out in front of the thing. That was your moment.
I think a lot of it was a power trip too.
Yeah. The same thing when I had the radio.
It was a power trip.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
it's just age. It's just the stages of life that we go through. It's just all it is.
But going back to the whole man situation,
let's wrap it up.
I definitely think
it's my show. Let's wrap it up.
Hey, check that pride and ego. Oh man, anyway, I believe as men, we have a calling. We have a calling to lead our family. We have a calling to be providers. We also have a calling to nurture as well. In other words, what I mean by nurturing is that, like with my son, there's times where he's a teenager now and he's going through some changes.
Oh, yeah.
And I have to keep that door open to be able to receive and hear where he's going through without basically saying, I don't care what you're doing. This is what we're going to do. And I have to be able to be emotionally connected with him, because if I'm just shutting down or if I'm just dictating everything to him, I'm going to miss out on something that's going to help him now to prevent him from struggling with this 10 years later. You know what I'm saying?
How often do you guys just sit and talk?
So we have a thing in our house where we do something, and once again, I picked this up off of, oh my gosh, that's pastor. I think his name is Pastor Philip Mitchell. He has a church in Atlanta, Georgia. I think it's called 2819.
Sounds familiar.
And he talks
I love
about
Atlanta, by the way.
Oh yeah,
you
yeah,
ever been?
yeah. Well, I'm originally from Nashville, Tennessee.
Oh, so you have been. Because we did our movie out there.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So
I love it out there.
I was listening to him one day, and he talked about how they have a safety circle with their family.
I was only there for 4 days. I mean, that's all I got out of the culture, but I loved it.
No, it's I love going back home. I love going back home. Honestly, when we go back, we were just in Texas, Austin, Texas, visiting family.
Oh my God, dude, I love Austin.
Yeah.
It's the only place in Texas I've ever been, but it's got the Stevie Ray Vaughan statue out at the river, and I'm a guitar player.
Oh,
so
that's right. I remember that.
The Stevie Ray statue and a friggin' Whataburger. I am all in.
The live, what is it? The live capital music of the world?
Something like that.
Live music capital. Anyway.
Yes, live music capital. Yes.
Yes.
And barbecue. And Whataburger.
They have a really good barbecue place. But anyway, so he was saying how they
Texas.
how they have a safety circle in their household. And I was like, that is a great idea. So I started implementing that in my household, where we have these safety circles. And when they say, Dad, I need to have a safety circle, I know when that's the case, I need to take off my dad hat and put on my listening ears. Okay. Like they don't need to hear what I need to say. Yes. I need to hear what they have to say. Okay. And so to answer your question, it happens a lot. My youngest, he uses it all the time. He's
How
like,
many kids you got?
I only have 2 boys.
Okay.
We have 2 kids, and we have a lot of joking around, adopted kids, but they're not really adopted. It's just people that just comes in our family, hangs out in our house, and all that good stuff. Anyway, so we do a thing called safety circle, and my youngest, he uses it all the time, and I'm like, he uses it inappropriately sometimes. I'm like, that's not a safety circle moment, son. But he's exercising it. My oldest, he doesn't necessarily use it as much, but when I come in and be like, hey, let's talk. And he'd be like, oh, it's fine. It's okay. I'm like, bud, this is our safety circle. And that's his buzzword and knowing. Oh, like, okay. All right. We can talk. Because you know how teenagers are. They kind of shy away. They don't really want to be involved at times. But anyway.
Can I give some quick unsolicited advice?
Sure.
Quick unsolicited advice that I'm not a father. Okay. So I have one, right?
Yeah.
You can take this or leave it.
Okay.
And you'll probably take it. Honestly, it could be something really, really good for you guys. Once every couple of weeks, maybe even once a month, take your boys on a nice drive. Go find some roads. Okay. Not to hot dog, not to nothing, just you and the boys without the wife. To men be men, and just tell them stories.
Absolutely.
Just tell them stories. Tell them about when you were 15 and some of the things that you experienced. Tell them about things that happened when you were 20 and 25.
Right.
And how you felt the day on your 30th birthday and how your body changed on your 40th birthday.
Right.
Just so they know.
Absolutely.
Because in 20 years, when they start experiencing these things, they're going to remember those conversations and they're not going to go, oh my God, or, oh, I know about this. And you'll never be able to take those moments away.
I love it.
And you're just sharing time.
I love it.
And the kids will start telling you stories of things that they're experiencing.
Yeah.
And, talk about the slang words that you used to use.
Oh, yeah.
Talk about your first time going to a movie theater. Talk about your first date. Talk about the first time you had a real steak. You'd be surprised how far that stuff goes. Those are the moments I wish I had with my father. I'm dead serious. I wish that he did that stuff.
Wow.
I really do. Once a month, once every couple of months, just a date with your kids, dude.
So I love
you probably
that.
already do it.
I need to be more intentional. One of the things I do
say, hey guys, guess what? On the 12th, don't plan anything. I got something really special for you guys. And it's nothing. That's the point. It's nothing. Maybe you're taking them to air hockey.
Yeah.
Maybe you're just taking them to a pizza. But it's those moments. Oh my God, dude, they'll never go away.
Yeah. No, I definitely need to be more intentional about it. I know recently I shared with them a story because I've been journaling, and I would say back in maybe 2016, God put it in my heart to just start writing down different events, writing down things that happened, and like even just my struggles within my relationship and my marriage, like relationship within my family, my marriage with my wife, which we've been married for 20 years, and because we got married pretty early. And basically my whole purpose and plan is to, when they're old enough, give them all of my writings of like, hey, this is what was going on in your dad's head. This is what was happening at different times and events, just so they have even a deeper understanding of who I am.
Yeah.
And anyway, I like just a couple of weeks ago.
It's so important that you do that.
Oh yeah.
And we got to wrap it because we have another recording coming.
Oh yeah. Anyway, sorry, I can keep on yapping.
I know, but this is good. We can do this all day long. I'm totally down. All right, so let's touch on what you do and what you're doing for people.
So, by my trade is I am a nurse. I work in healthcare. I've been in nursing since, oh my gosh, I graduated in 2012. So I've been in nursing for a pretty good while, and I am now actually considering going. Actually, I'm waiting for my acceptance, but going back to school to get my DNP and FNP, Family Nurse Practitioner. So anyway, I have a business. It's called Romear Strength, and it is health and wellness. I am a health and wellness nurse coach. So what does that mean? So basically, I want to help people build strong minds and healthy bodies. I focus on the mind, the body, and the soul, in other words. So in other words, if let's say you had a situation and God forbid, you had just had a heart attack. They just placed stents and they said, you got to stop smoking. You need to lose some weight and you need to basically tune up your diet. I can help people with that.
Yeah.
Or let's say you have a situation where you feel like that you are dying in the inside, that you don't feel that as a man or a woman, and you feel like I'm not wanted. I have self-rejection. Basically, I'm people pleasing. We can talk about that too. We can dive in that too. So in other words, I solely believe in mind and body and spirit. Because
and all three of those things all are like a trinity. They all touch.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I feel like, and what led me to go this route is I feel like in healthcare, we do a great job in fixing you, fixing your body.
When something goes wrong.
But we neglect the mind. We neglect the spirit. And I wanted to create something where it's all encompassing. It's comprehensive. So that's how I'm able to help people. And I'm passionate about it.
I've worked with, I've done, how many interviews do you think I've done over the years? I've tried to figure it out. I'm in the thousands. In the thousands.
If you say you've been in the radio for, what do you say, 12 years? Oh my gosh.
Thousands. When you do the math.
I believe it. Absolutely.
Yeah, because some of them are 2 or 3 a day, right?
Oh.
Yeah.
365. Ooh.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
Thousands.
Yeah.
and I've met a lot of you over the years.
Interesting.
A lot of you. And what I found is that you are very real and honest and open. And you have a warmth about you that's different than a lot of these other people. People come in here and they have a show. You don't have a show. Okay? You are who you are. Me, I am who I am. It's like take it or leave it. You don't like me, that's fine. That's okay.
I'm going to be just fine.
We're going to be just fine. We're just going to do our thing. The point is that that's a gift. They call it charisma. Whatever.
I accept that.
It's a gift, and you've got that. And I think that if people want to look for somebody who's going to be true and honest and get, you're not going to have all the answers.
Absolutely.
No one's not
I would never tell someone I have all the answers.
But you could be a really great listening board that can help people sort through whatever they're going through.
I'm a servant. I'm a companion.
Yeah.
That's how I see myself.
We were just talking about the ring, the king, the royal, and the servant. You fall into all three of those, right? Because you're the king at your castle.
Yes.
You're the royal at work. And you're the servant to the people.
I'm called to be a king.
Isn't that beautiful?
And I believe I'm a royal priesthood.
Isn't that right?
I'm also called to be a servant.
You see what I'm saying? Isn't that beautiful, though? I couldn't believe it. The guy worth $100 million tells me this. I'm like, this is the craziest thing I've ever heard. I wrote a whole book on it called The King, the Royal, and the Servant. Yeah. So, hey, thank you so much. RomearCampbell.com. ROMEAR Campbell.com. 615-336-3939. Dude, thank you so much.
No, thank you for having me again.
Hour and 22 minutes.
I'm sorry for taking this long. We didn't even dive into everything.
We didn't even touch it.
We were all over the place. So I would love to come back and just be more focused on.
Think about how much people are going to get from this episode.
I hope so.
No, there's so much.
I hope so.
If I got something and you got something, the people are going to get something.
I feel
unbelievable.
I definitely feel like
the people who think that they know everything on this are the ones that we were really talking to.
Well, hopefully it opens more dialogue.
Yeah.
Because I don't know everything. You don't know everything.
No.
But the main thing is
we have our ideas, we have our opinions, and
we have to talk. Yes. A lot of times we don't talk to each other.
Yeah.
These are taboo situations, and a lot of times we don't even have I hate to say, sometimes the emotional maturity, the spiritual maturity, to be able to discern these different things.
I had an old friend who was a super, super liberal and terrible business person, but super liberal. And I used to love going to lunch with her because she would just open my eyes to things. Me being a conservative, she's a super liberal.
Right.
And then you really, at the end, you're both in the middle.
But that says a lot about you.
I loved those conversations because we could sit there for hours arguing over politics, but never arguing.
Right.
Just
you're discussing.
Yes, it was wonderful. Oh, we would love it.
That says a lot about you. Well, because some
people don't have the maturity for that.
Well, no, people don't want to do it. Yeah. Oh, you're a liberal. Get away from me.
Yeah.
You're one of those. I don't want to talk to you.
No, I want to know what you're thinking.
Right.
You know who one of my idols is before we get out of here? Literally, I idolize this guy.
Be careful about idols.
Idolize this guy. No, seriously. He's somebody that I would love to interview someday.
Oh, yeah.
And get into his head.
Who's that?
Gavin Newsom.
Really?
I just got to figure out how the hell he works and how he thinks because it's just so far, far different than the way I think.
Well, I would love to talk. I would love to talk to him as well.
It would just be incredible just to see.
I would love to be a fly on the wall and just be in the room when you guys have that conversation.
Seriously, because he does things that are just so left field, and then he does things that are right field, and I'm like, hold on a minute, you're doing things for the conservative and the liberal. I don't understand this. Like, where's the mindset? Like, I got to figure out how your thinking works. It's really a cool thing.
Yeah.
He's an very interesting guy. All right. RomearCampbell.com, 615-336-3939. Give him a call, and thank you so much, man.
Yeah.
And we'll see you guys next time. Thanks for listening.